Smith machine set up for weight releasers. Okay, so I've got obviously my bench in there. Obviously you could have this set up for incline or whatever. Right, so you want the bottom of that stroke to be where you're gonna set your release height based on where that bar is gonna hit you. Right, so if your safety position is down, you can bang it off your chest. Or if you know, no, I don't want to release until I have to cave my chest. See how I cave my chest, the bar drops a little further. And if I've got my typical little bit of arch, right, then I don't reach the safeties. So what we're going to do is set these up so that when my chest is caved, right, the bar is all the way down and on the safety. Okay, so set it down to that position so it's resting down on the floor or down on the pins. I'm going to move you over here so you can see everything else. Okay, so I've got 15 pounds on each weight pin. Okay, we only need one of them for now. It just needs to be short enough, right? So I'm going to shorten this up so that I know it hangs from the bar. All right, so when I put it on there, it hangs from the bar. Right, so it's hanging, it's not touching the floor. I lower it down to the floor. I hold onto the loose tail, lower it to the floor. Then I'm going to push forward so that this doesn't come unhooked and let a little bit more of the strap out, right? So now I've got a little extra strap there so that when it goes back, there's enough there that it can get kicked off. Okay. Right, so once again, if this is up here hanging, hold some tension down to the floor, pressure forward, right? Lets it rotate around and lengthen the strap. Now it pops loose, right? So that now that we know that when we hit the safeties, we know that it's going to pop free. Okay, and then you put the bar back up. And then I'm going to show you again the different ways, the 2 ways to make it longer or shorter. Okay, so if you're trying to shorten the whole construct, the whole thing, right, you pull down here and you lift here. When you want to go longer, you just hold some tension here and let it out slowly, right? Just enough to let it move. And when you're going the other way, you don't have to do anything. You just pull down and then follow with your other hand to lift. Make sense? Okay, a little bit. Right, so right now we've only lowered it to the floor, right? So when we want to adjust back up, we pull down here and we lift up the stack to keep this engaged. So we're pulling down here to keep this engaged and we're following it with the other hand to adjust the height. Those are the 2 ways to adjust it. Always keep tension here, right? Otherwise, if you just drop it, you drop it. You don't want to do that. So just hold that there to control your descent, lower it down. Then you're going to pull forward on the whole thing, release a little bit extra so that it pops loose, okay? Then slide it back over the top. You want to make sure it clears when we're down on the safeties, okay? Now move your bar back up. Remember, it doesn't matter as long as it's up off the floor. We move that weight releaser over. Make sure you're still in the picture, you're still in the picture. So we move that one over. Okay, take it out, so make sure your cam or your, make sure that that's not twisted down there, all right? And then like I talked about, you pull down here, you lift to follow, bring it up, right? And all you're gonna do is feel the bottom. This one's already set to the right height. We're just gonna match it up. I just hold tension here and then lightly squeeze this to lower it. Right? And when they're set to the right height, that's it, you're done. Now I would take them for a test ride and make sure they release where I want them to. So we'll move the other one to the other side. Okay, they're set up. Bring it down. It's going to hit my chest and not release, so I'm going to let my chest cave. They both drop at the same time. Put plates on and start. And you can do repetitions with them, right? And use them as a way to keep going on the set. Or if you're going to try something a little heavier and you want to be able to drop the weight and push the bar back up, it's great for that. Other thoughts? Okay, so you've taken it for a test drive and now you're like, oh, I want it higher or lower, right? If you drop them closer to the floor, farther to the floor, they release higher up. If you shorten this rigging, the bar's got to go farther down. So I always have people bring them back to the same side to adjust them together, right? Because then you can think of adjusting them in like plate thicknesses, right? So you were under the bar, you're like, well, I'd like it to release. If you wanted it to release, either the thickness of a 5 or the thickness of a 10 farther up, then you can just lower one of them that much farther. Remember, little tension here. We're just going to lower this one down, right? If it goes too far, remember, you're going to pull down here to keep tension so that doesn't pop loose, because if I just try and pull up on this, it just unhooks, right? So, and then when you lift these up, you always lift so that your fingers aren't, so you're not grabbing the buckle. Because if you grab the buckle, you'll change the length. The other way to do it is always stretch these out, put a little tension on that, hook that in, keep it tipped back, and then you can lift it up and hang it up. Okay? So right now it's lower than I want it. I want to shorten it. So I'm going to pull down here and follow with my other hand. And then I'll slowly adjust it to where I want it. Like, okay, that's about the thickness of a 5. Then I can lower this one back down to it. All right. Check it underneath. It's a little too much. Just go back up. All right. Now they're perfect. Move it back to the other side. Take it for a test ride. If there's anything else, just reach out to me. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like I said, if you start using them, you're like, yeah, they're pretty freaking awesome, which they are, by the way, Luke, then I'm happy to send you a couple of these straps so that you can do like seated shoulder press in the rack. You can do incline on the Smith machine with them, super easy with the strap. Some of them you'll be able, if you don't do like a super high incline, you'll be able to do it with these straps. The other option is to throw a bumper plate underneath them so that if you run out of strap, you're able to at least let them contact, especially if you're on a Smith machine, you can certainly throw a bumper plate underneath it so that you can get them to release. But this is the way to do it. I can't remember how tall you are, but if you're gonna squat with them and you want them to release higher, you may need the strap or, like I said, bumper plates underneath. Depends on how much weight you wanna lift. The nice thing about the extra strap is it lowers everything down, right? So that it's closer to the floor. So if your bar is this high off the floor, then the releaser only has to be lifted up to here to attach it. So, and this is just an example of how I would adjust between exercises, right? So I've got a piece of red tape that I've already marked on here for seated shoulder press, right? So you can take that off. Get your red tape fed all the way through to the back side. I don't know if I have that down there where you can see it. Right? So I have my tape to the bottom edge of the cam buckle. Right, so I set it with that bottom edge. You can be as close or as far away as you want. Right, I hang that up. This is why I said you only need to mark one. Hang your other one next to it. Right. just match the heights up. And now you're ready to go. You can do that for different exercises, for different people, whatever you want to do. I sell extra straps of these so that you can leave some set up, right? So that's why mine have tape on them, because I know that my yellow ones are going to be for shoulder shrugs, my red ones are going to be for shoulder press. And so I never have to set them up. All I have to do is hook them up, take them for a test ride, and then use them. Right, so if I'm going to squat under here on the bar, you can put a strap around the bar. Right, just put a strap around the bar, and I'll send you a couple of these extra snap hooks. Right, and you hang your releaser from there, and setup's the same, right? You would just put this as low as you want your squat to be, right, where you want them to come off, set them up. Then what you could do is this piece of tape that's on here is set for a specific exercise for my shoulders. And the way I do it is I get it set to a height, then I put a piece of tape across here right at the bottom of the back of the buckle. I always hang mine with the cam buckle forward. Right, so the cam buckle's always forward. And then if you're gonna mark it, this is just colored electrical tape. If you're gonna mark it, you have to push real hard on that to get the tape to feed through, but it feeds through fine. But you only need to mark one, right? So you would mark this, write down whatever exercise it's for, and then when you go back to do that exercise, you set up one, then set the other one up next to it, and then set it to the same height. That way you're always sure that they're the same height. I'll mash these two into a YouTube video and send you a link. And if there's anything else, let me know.